terms. Turning out of the Mideast, though, President Trump is making his preference clear, saying he'd rather make a deal with Iran to stop the killing.
That message comes as Tehran and Oman work out a plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, but ships are still coming under fire.
Trey Yingst joins us now from Tel Aviv with the latest. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. The Middle East is waiting to see if a deal can be reached on the Strait of Hormuz to avoid a return to conflict. President Trump spoke overnight from Las Vegas about the Iranian regime.
We're knocking the hell out of them. I'd rather make a deal because I don't want to kill people. I do not want to kill people. But at some point we're gonna. We were set for the biggest attack of any attack, and we've hit them very hard for the last few months.
Reports indicate progress in talks between Iran and Oman aimed at opening the strait. This was all led in part by requests from Gulf allies who urged the president not to strike.
I can say that the latest situation is that almost all of the topics are under discussion. The map, the transit routes, the entering and exiting the maritime traffic, and those bilateral side agreements with Oman.
Amid the possibility of a return to conflict with Iran if an agreement isn't reached, President Trump posted to Truth Social overnight about reports the United States is running low on air defense interceptors. The president said in part the U.S. has massive amounts of munitions, especially of certain types. Additionally, large amounts are being manufactured and shipped to the U.S. as needed. Defense companies are building the largest number of plants and factories in our country's history. Vice President J.D. Vance described his relationship with the president as consequential decisions are being made about the conflict.
The president and I, first of all, he makes the decisions, and we all try to implement the decisions in accordance with the president's wishes. So the president runs this administration. He is the very top of the administration. He makes orders. We, of course, have debates and conversations about what exactly we should do. But when the president of the United States makes a decision, we are unified in this administration in carrying out that mission.
Switching gears here, we are tracking another development out of Israel. The IDF says 2 of their soldiers were killed yesterday by a Hezbollah IED in southern Lebanon. That prompted the Israelis to renew strikes against the Iran-backed group. Guys?
All right, Trey Yingst, live for us in Tel Aviv. Trey, thank you.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.